For being the smallest tram system in the Czech Republic, Olomouc's tram system is a remarkably magnificently run system, with high frequencies and a nice ridership for a city of this size. Let's check it out. After some 7 years of planning, construction and testing, the tram system of Olomouc was opened on the 1st of April of 1899, making the tram system over 125 years old. The system started by using electrical trams, although the initial idea was to build a steam tram. At the opening, the system had 2 branches. The system was over 5.3 kilometers on its opening. Up to the Second World War, the network grew a bit, but especially its popularity was growing quickly. After the war, the network kept growing, and a lot of sections were rebuilt to double track. This was followed by a further renewal of the system. One of the main links to be built was a southern link from the train station to the market hall, completing the loop around the city center. The branch that was opened most recently is the branch to Kaplicki, with the first section opened in 2013 and the latest in 2022. Up to now, it has not been provided with a turning loop, requiring bidirectional trams to operate here. Which brings us to the network of today. This is the tram system of Olomouc. This tiny network has a total length of 15.5 kilometers, making it the shortest in the Czech Republic. It uses a 1435mm standard gauge and is powered by 600 volts DC overhead wires. There are 2 depots on the network, although one is more like a parking space near the train station. Let's now take a look at the lines. Line 1 runs between Nova Ulice and Fibichova. Line 2 runs between Nejedin Crematorium and Fibichova. Line 3 runs between Kaplicki and Fibichova. Line 4 runs between Nova Ulice and Pavlovitsky. Line 5, Kaplicki to Fibichova. Line 6, Nova Ulice to Fibichova. And finally, Line 7 from Nejedin Crematorium to Fibichova. All the lines typically run every 15 minutes, except for Line 5, which runs every half an hour. Line 6 only runs during peak hours. Line 1, 5 and 7 run on the southern route via Envelopa, while Line 2, 3, 4 and 6 run through the city center. All the lines connect to Olomouc's main station. A fun fact is that all the branches have a railway level crossing. This video about the Olomouc tram system is part of an already 40 episode long series of videos of transport systems. I would love to show you many more in the future, therefore it would be really helpful if you like my video and subscribe to my channel. Let's now take a look at the fleet. The tram fleet is quite diverse for a small tram system like Olomouc. As typical for Czech tram systems, also here the famous Tatra T3 is part of the fleet. The examples still active in Olomouc were originally delivered in the second part of the 1980s. They were modernized in the early 2000s, resulting in these trams being subtype T3R.P. On the day I went to film in Olomouc, the T3s were having some time off from work and were chilling in the depot. Well, actually not. Their service was not needed, as there were construction works and some lines were out of service. 18 Tatra T3s are still part of the fleet, although 4 are out of service at the time of writing. The T3s are unidirectional. The last type delivered to Olomouc during the last century is the unidirectional Škoda 03T. This short, 3-section tram was delivered in 1998 and 1999. There are only 4 trams of this type in Olomouc. Slightly later on, 3 trams of the type Inekom 01 Trio joined the fleet. This tram type is a very close relative of the Škoda 03T. Both types were originally designed by the same design company. Back in the day when Škoda and Inekom were in a joint venture, this short-lived partnership went up into flames, but both manufacturers kept building trams based on this design, with the most striking difference being the front. The unidirectional Inekom 01 Trios were all delivered in 2006. The next type in the fleet is the Alliance TW Team Vario LF, a tram type that is basically a rebuild of the Tatra T3. It was delivered between 2006 and 2020. The Alliance TW Team is a group made up of Prago IMAX, KOS Krnov and VKV Praha. There are 21 unidirectional units of the Vario LF in Olomouc. We are continuing with the Vario LF Plus/O. This type, also built by Alliance TW Team, is a unidirectional trams with doors on both sides. They need to be coupled to form a bidirectional tram, which is the case here. It is very similar to the Vario LF. However, it is not based on a rebuild from a Tatra T3. There are 14 trams of this type in Olomouc, and they were delivered in 2013. The next and final type is the Evo 1, built by Prago IMAX. These trams, delivered between 2018 and 2022, have 2 variants active in the city. 4 trams of this type, similar to the Vario LF Plus/O, have doors on both sides. They can also form bidirectional combinations because of this. They are designated as Evo 1/O, while the subtype with doors on one side, the regular Evo 1, had 5 units delivered. So let's check out how many people use the tram system of Olomouc. In 2023, nearly 28.2 million passengers use the tram system of Olomouc, which is around 77.2 thousand passengers daily. This is a really impressive figure, given the city's 102,000 inhabitants. So what will the future hold? For now, the only extension planned is the further extension of the section to Ukaplitsky to a new terminus near Yizhny Street. This will be with a loop, removing the requirement of bidirectional trams on this section. Currently, the city is acquiring the land needed for this section, which they aim to complete by the end of this year. And that's it for the tram system of Olomouc. Click over here for my video about the tram system of Brno. And as always, thank you very much for watching.